longest in the world in 1903. It was operated for only 5 years until the mine closed in 1906. The tramway hauled copper ore from the ferrous Hearty mine, located on the west side of the Continental Divide, of the smelter located in Encampment. The tramway cables moved at 4 miles per hour and was 16 miles long. There were 375 towers and over 800 ore buckets. Each bucket could haul up to 700 pounds of copper ore. The tram was powered mostly by gravity. That's cool. There were 3 power stations on the line that operated with wood fire steam power to slow the tram and get it going when buckets were not full to operate by gravity. Miners often rode the ore buckets up and down the lines as they needed. That would be fun.
Way to get around. Like a ski lift. It's quite a technology though back then. This little ore delivery system. That's pretty neat. Copper ore.
That thing, 700 pounds in that thing.
Solid. Look at that beast.
This is called the big wheel. You can't read it. The big wheel was used in the hack camps to help pick up something.
Tie hackers.
Yeah.
And
Something that has to do with a tree.
Wow.
But you can't read.
Oh, like leverage it maybe?
Yeah.
These wheels. That center point? I don't know.
Oh, I bet you're right, yeah.
Bunch of old junk now. That's cool. Still got a badge on there. FM Davis Ironworks Co. Denver, Colorado. Back when Denver used to make something.
Outhouse.
Early day mountain outhouse. Built in 1976 for bicentennial. I guess they rebuilt it more recently, huh? Don't overload the stairs. Average weight adults when...
This is like, what, 400 pounds?
Yeah.
It's beautiful water.
Oh, it'd be cool going through your yard.
Yeah.
Stream like that.
Okay, here we go into the outhouse. Oh. As I...
How the heck does that work? Like drops down on the guy below you? Plop! What in the heck? I don't get it. It seems like pretty unsanitary to me.
Does the women's have a seat?
Seat position when top seat not in use. Seat position when top seat not in use. Look at that, you got some reading materials in there.
Dude, check out the one upstairs. The women's has a fur seat.
What the? Oh, that's how it works. They
You
open
lift
them
it
up.
up. Wow.
And then the shit just goes dropping from the top there. I was like,
Dude,
you don't want
that's
to be in the
not
wrong
cool.
one at the wrong time.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Gotta be nasty. And this is rickety. Whew. Looks like it's gonna collapse under my weight. Consider the next guy and sit if you are handicapped for any reason. What? Sit? I don't even know what that means. Just don't open up, huh?
Sitting in style.
Fur seats.
Yeah.
Select your own size for comfort from cold. I don't know who wrote these signs, but their grammar isn't very good. Whoa, dude.
Yeah.
It's about to fall apart.
Those steps are a little sketchy too.
It's awesome. So they have the top shitters. But you can't have anybody in the bottom when the top shitter is taking a shitters. Tie Hat Cabin. Came from the Big Creek Tie Camp in southern Carbon County. The cabin was home to men who cut ties for the railroad. Although they would usually eat their meals in the cookhouse, this cabin was disassembled and moved from the original site to the museum as a memorial to John Anderson. John Anderson worked at the Tie Hack Camp in 1920s, and he bunked in this very cabin. Whoever that is. Whoever that dude is. Yeah, that's even looking there. Sit on the bench and wait. Yeah, not much for windows.
Okay.
Apparently they didn't have the luxury of windows back then.
None.
And just climbed in their little cave. There's not even a fireplace in this thing. Doesn't seem very practical. I guess just to keep you out of the wind. Go covered up in a blankie. Well, there's one window. The one and only view. If I can get you guys a view. What it looks like inside. Oh, let's see here. Let's see here if I can maneuver my camera around. Can't really see anything. There we go. There we go. Looks pretty cozy. Didn't have much for luxury back in the day. Tie hackers. Somebody's got to build that railroad. They said they're mostly Irishmen.
Oh, really?
Yep, so much for the only colored people
Building America?
built this nation. Poor Irishmen working their butts off building that Union Pacific Railroad.
Persem Cabin was built in 1877, making it the oldest building at the museum. It was originally located 1 mile north of Riverside in a community known as Swan and was part of the Nichols family ranch, which later became a homestead for the Persem family. The logs were shaped by using a broadaxe, and then the cabin was assembled. The original roof and chinking was sod, or white dirt, which was a water-resistant type of clay. The cabin was sold to W.T. Persem in 1912. Many Persams, family descendants of the original settlers, still live in the area today. Inside, you can see the likely setup of a typical pioneer rancher's home in 1900.
About all you need though. You got your stove, wood burning stove, got your flower bin, harvest table.
Yeah, I'd be fine with all that. 2 bedrooms, or 2 rooms. That's all you need.
A pie safe, secretary.
The Wolford Schoolhouse is one of the first schoolhouses in the area. William Henry Wolford and family homesteaded in this area in 1886. Most of the land on the river bottom had been claimed, so Mr. Wolford located his ranch about 1 mile north of what is now Encampment. The family grew to 10 children. Since there was not a school nearby, Mr. Wolford built his own school around 1895 on his own property to educate his children. Soon, neighboring children began coming to school. At one point, there were 20 kids in the one-room schoolhouse. Mr. Wolford made sure all his children graduated with a high school diploma. One of his sons even went to Harvard. Many Wolford family descendants still live in Encampment and the surrounding area.
All that
That's
homeschooling.
cool.
Here's the old Saratoga and Encampment Railway Caboose. Is that what it's supposed to be?
Yeah.
It just looks like a shed or something.
Right?
Really hard to capture. Hard to see much with these windows. Poor quality as they are to look through.
This caboose is an original caboose from the Saratoga and Encampment Railway, also known as the S&E or the Slow and Easy. The Saratoga and Encampment Railway was formed to haul copper from the Encampment smelter to the Union Pacific Railroad at Walcott Junction. Before the railway was constructed, the copper was hauled 40 miles by wagon. It took thousands of horses and mules to pull thousands of wagons, and it was a dangerous venture. The railway was completed from Saratoga in 1908, but that year the smelter had a major fire, the last of the big 3 fires. Copper prices were down and the smelter closed, along with the mines in the Grand Encampment Copper District. Hence, the S&E never hauled copper out of Wyoming's copper belt. However, the train continued to operate into the 1970s. The train hauled lumber, hay, wool, and cattle to a variety of markets. It also occasionally transported passengers between Saratoga and Encampment to partake in all-night dances. The caboose was donated by Eugene Basher and moved to the museum in 2014.
It's a cool little area in there. Little tiny home.
Yeah. Yeah, I could.
I can't park this thing out in the meadow somewhere. It's got a little wood burning stove.
Yeah, I like
Get
that.
out of that bad boy. Look all the
like-
windows.
That's a cool stove too.
more.
Yeah.
They just kind of quit.
So I know
But
the
that's
Shriner
where
cap right there.
all of
right?
that came from. The ladies are part of Eastern Star.
Right.
Kind of got a little bit familiar with that with a couple ladies over there in Laramie.
I've seen that
We're part of
symbol
that.
before from where we're from. They have it on the street signs, that,
Oh, okay.
that 5-pointed star. I know the Shriners wear those things, right? The little
Yes.
caps.
Yep.
That's interesting.
And then out in our, because this is kind of full,
Mm-hmm.
I have the rest of the clothing collection stuff out in the back of the livery. I have a box of
They're
basically religious type stuff.
interesting. Huh.
But some of the textile things they wore, aprons and a sash, and this and that, and
Yeah,
another
that'd be
hat, and a few things like that.
That'd be
but-
neat to hang up just an apron. Even George Washington had his own
Yep,
apron. Yeah.
yep.
It's interesting. I like that. The G on the top of the flag, though. It's
Yeah.
interesting.
Well, I've been here for, it was only just this summer. Look at the top of that flagpole. Oh, it is, because I was going through flags
Grand architect.
to try and see if there was, a number on it, a session number. I'm going, oh. So I says, we're not putting that away, it's staying on the flagpole, look at that. So
Yeah.
it'll stay all right.
It's different, yeah, for
The other
sure.
thing, see, and this is kind of a, I don't know what you'd call it, poker
Oh,
type
yeah, I didn't even
thing.
notice that. Look at that. Yep.
And then, out
got the
in
G.
the back of the livery, we now have, oh, yeah, it came out.
Oh, really?
Piano?
Yeah, and it's got some
Is that?
carving type
That'd be cool to
plaque things on it. It's late 1850s,
see. Nice.
yeah.
It's very ornate, beautiful,
Yes.
beautiful instrument.
Beautiful.
The guy that we had come tune it from Cheyenne,
You still play it? Does it sound really?
it's really out. He said it was probably built in London.
Wow.
And then came to New York on a boat, on a ship. The rest of the assembly, like the legs and whatnot, was put on in New York. Now, the story between New York and Wyoming, we don't have that story. It was donated by a couple up in Saratoga. They're gone. I don't even know how they got it, unfortunately.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
Check it out. So this is a stereography. It's like a three-dimensional postcard, basically. It's what they did for entertainment before they had their smartphones. So like the lady was saying, they'd go on vacation, they'd bring it home for the kids, and they'll all sit around staring at these things for hours, I'm sure. Pretty neat, though. You got different ones, like the, you can look at the three-dimensional version of the pizza pie in the sky moon. I think they just work based on like one is a little bit off shifted. I don't know. I guess she didn't explain the science, but you see what I mean? Like this one's
Oh.
more centered, this one's not. Stereoscopy, the two different eyes. Kind of confuses the eyes, make it look like there's more depth than there actually is. I thought that was pretty cool. Is this ours? That's somebody else's. Yeah, look at these old school movie cameras. She was saying that they, this thing's got a vent because the light inside would get so hot. It would need, I think the incandescent bulbs, I think they used. Would get so hot that it need ventilation. This thing almost looks like a wood burning stove. This was in a movie theater. This one's even older, I think. And what is that, like kerosene or something? To light up the slides. And there's this bad boy. This is what I could be carrying around if I was out doing a vlog these days, or back in the days. Big old incandescent bulb in the back. It's really crazy how things have changed. Yeah, this is the Masonic collection over here. This is the, I think this is the podium. It's got the G on there, or the compass and square. This is what they would have in the center of the temple or the worship area, and then they have an open Bible on top. What I've seen in the past. Looks like solid oak. There's the little Shriner hats and the Lots of symbolism of the Eastern Star. The women's branch of the Masonic Lodge. Always got to have a little Masonism. Chapter of the Order of the Eastern Star. There's the One Nation Under God. Masonic G, Grand Architect. Look at this beast. I took some,
Is it heavy?
yeah, totally top heavy. It'd be like an executioner or something. Awesome gun collection.
Whether it's on this or on TV, you believe.
I never heard that. Of course, I never camped in a camper before like that.
A double barrel shotty.
Well, it goes with any kind of tent you got, don't it?
Let's just put it with.
Yeah, as far as that goes. But it was fun. Like that. I did have, as a kid, two long voices. Would you go stay with one of those again? Yes, right now. Loved it.
Gotta love those spectacles too.
And they were sheep herders as well, and they hired a sheep herder from.
Those old Remingtons. That's neat.
And his name was Angie, right? And so he
Wyoming State Guard
right,
belt buckle.
he was also Spanish, so he could speak a little bit. But anyway, yeah, Indy didn't speak any English. But he had a horse and 3 dogs.
Nice.
And running 2,000 head of sheep.
And 3 kids gonna sleep there.
Yeah.
3 little kids. Me and my 2 brothers. Until they got to be teenagers and then they got the tent. I got to stay there. That's awesome. The only time I ever saw my dad cook was in the sheep camp. Bacon and eggs and lamb chops.
Did he do a good job?
Yes. But he never did it at home.
model of the tramway, I guess.
Some chips to kind of get
I wanted to go.
There's your peak elevation, 11,000 feet.
before they send you off.
Have them for RVUV. You know,
Yeah, you could rent this out instead.
Why do they call this blister copper?
Well, after it goes through a process, it's separated from the ore. You get a copper substance. It's not pure, it hasn't been refined a lot. But then they made a few odds and ends type things, baskets.
It's got that smell. Musty.
Yeah, musty smell.
Dust. 200 years old dust. Look at that bike.
Yeah, I like the color.
You guys had skill to drive that thing, man. Jeez. Look at the handlebars. What? Well, that wagon, it says an old wagon from around here.
Stoga.
Conestoga. That's neat. Riding in that puppy.
Wow.
Look at the, it didn't have much shock absorption, huh?
Yeah, right.
Did they even have? I don't think they did, huh?
This This does.
They didn't have like leaf spring. There you go.
They
Yeah.
got
that's a leaf.
something that looks like a spring, but
Yeah.
I don't know what it is, but it looks like it's gotta be supported, so.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to make out. This thing, maybe. That thing looked like the luxury unit right here. It's got a little seat support or
So
seat
there you go. right.
cushion. Yeah. It's funny how they still use that same technology in vehicles today, like leaf springs. Same stuff. That's neat. Good health products, huh? Is he like a traveling salesman or something, do you know?
They have medicine wagons that were travel around the country
Oh, wow, yeah.
and preach people. In fact,
Nice.
somebody that was in here earlier said this Lydia Pinkham's compound thing, it closed in 1965 because he said it was somewhere, wherever they were from. And I thought he said it just closed or something. I said, what? He said, no, 1965.
Wow.
I wonder what that has in it.
It's a pretty long time, though. Cool.
Yeah.
Quite a lot of history in here.
Yeah. Man, my dad would love this place.
Oh, we got a band.
Branding irons, other types of brands, the different saddles.
Oh, yeah, I didn't see those.
And I just walked
The
past
book
them,
of the brands. That was the fly thing to keep the flies off the horses.
Oh, okay. I was wondering. I was going to ask.
Huh. So just from the shifting around, it would keep them
Right.
up? Yeah, that makes sense.
Put it over the horse like this. The only reason I know is because they had my husband was flipping through the channels one time and they had a documentary on whatever. And this was in Michigan where they had an island where they don't allow any vehicles, any motorized vehicles,
They
only
still-
horses. And so they had this on a horse they're riding around town. I went, oh my gosh, we got that hanging down the livery.
It's like one of those Hawaiian skirts almost. Maybe that's why they wear them too. You know?
They still brand like this today.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
High?
They-
Is that high?
I don't know.
HI?
Well, it has an underline too. I worked
Oh,
at a
yeah.
ranch, and they would do the same thing. Heat the thing up and
It's neat.
put it on the cow.
Yep. Poor moo cow, huh?
You know, the thing of it is, I didn't realize, of course, never being a rancher and owning cows, they have to register all these brands. And
Yep.
Huh.
the Studebaker wagon, I don't know if you ever heard of the Studebaker car.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's it. Wow. That goes way back, huh?
See, on the side it said the wagon was made Ford Steel for the brothers right there,
Okay.
Cosgrove brothers.
Nice.
Well, it's printed on the side of the wagon.
Yeah, right there.
Yeah,
Is this the brake?
yeah,
Okay.
it goes through.
Wow. Wagon.
Yeah. Before the dump truck. Big old earth mover right here. That's cool. Look at that old fire truck.
'77, that late in my '70s, so.
Wow.
For emergency runs and stuff.
Quite a ride.
Do you guys still get it out for parades and stuff, or?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No. To get it out, you gotta go through a lot.
Oh yeah.
Just to get it running, probably.
Well, I guess there's a door there.
I like that. Oh, so that's is that the old lodge sign? She said she had some Masonic
Yeah.
stuff in here. Is that the old lodge or?
Oh, FL. I don't know.
Oh, that's the IOOF.
What is that?
Oh, it's a fraternity or
Right.
thing, IOOF.
Right, because it got
And
a
I-
lodge
yeah.
number, so I was wondering.
Yeah,
She said you had like an old piano. Was it in here with the some of the Masonic stuff on it
there's.
from the
oh,
lodge? Maybe.
Yeah, well,
It's cool. You still have some locals though that are willing to keep the history alive.
oh, absolutely.
'Cause if not,
Absolutely, this is what this is all about. And they still, and the thing of it is, we take things strictly from Carbon County. This is all about Carbon County. Because every museum and they have their own. Well, even in Carpenter County, you still got them in there. Every town, I should say, has their museum. Saratoga's got their Snake River and Savory.
Yes, needs to
Which
be.
I haven't been to, and they tell me how great they are. And I mean, I don't know what happens, but the summer is come and gone.
I know how you feel. Okay, I gotta go in here real quick.
Bigger than our camper.
Is it? Our truck camper. Yeah, it's like the old truck camper of the day right here. Nice. This is cozy. They're more practical with the space too. See the little pull-out table they have? Yeah. That's cool. Was that guys who designed the campers could take some notes from these guys.
The stove. Is that the original stove that went in it?
I don't know. I'm thinking it
Pretty
is.
cozy.
Ooh, that would heat that thing up.
Yeah, it would. It's like an old sheep herders type thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is definitely, yeah. It's
Nice.
super Wagon.
Nice. It is cozy though. I like the vaulted effect in there. I like this.
Hearse.
I like that guy, the hearse.
It's pretty neat.
Is that a typical
Wicker basket. They had to use wicker baskets back in the days of the Civil War because they were running short on wood, so
Wow.
they used wicker,
Wow.
which I thought was even better. And another gal was agreed with, sure, I think that's better. I think it is too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I do too.
Lighter, I bet. You gotta release it down into the hole. It's probably a little lighter to carry. I didn't know that, huh? Horse-drawn hearse. Cool. Sure there's not a body in there, are you? I would hope not.
It's up on the main street of town that's still there. The Sugar Bowl had open, and it used to be a grocery store back in the day, and now it's just closed.
Why do you think there's not too many stores, huh, in town?
Well, they're starting to open up. This guy he has a lot of money anyways. He bought up a lot of property here, and he's revamped it,
Right.
and he's reopened it. He's redone the hotel, motel, and he's done the divide, which was already done, but he just got in there and did things a little differently. Now, I'm told he bought this here. See, this building used to be a bank, and then when we moved here back in the late 70s, it was a grocery store, and the Sugar Bowl was there. And so he wants to open the Sugar Bowl again.
That's cool.
And I don't know what he's going to do here. I don't know if he's made up his mind. I have to ask him what he's doing. But
Cash
he wants to keep everything in being with Western Town and keep the look.
That's cool, yeah.
Well, I mean, if you're going to have someone come in and do all that, it's nice to have someone that's going to keep the
Exactly.
history.
I'm told he's a real nice man. I've not met him yet, but
Yeah.
but then as soon as everything went bust,
Yep.
left.
I'm going to water bottle out.
I want some water.
Yeah, take some.
Water. This is the
Okay.
Parkinson
this is
House.
At Parkinson House, and so you can see it was built in 1908.
Yep.
Had steam heat. He got the steam heat from his store from across the street. It was on Freeman Ave there, and had lights, running water,
Wow.
bathroom.
Fancy.
Come on, the door. Everything. The thing of it is that Ed came here during the boom of the copper ore mines, and he had 3 businesses going here. And so he didn't want to leave. It's got a piece of the pie. I mean, when you got 4,000 people here and you got booming businesses.
Yeah.
So he had to entice his wife to come because they were from Denver. So he built her this house. Well, it didn't work because she still didn't want to come. She ended up coming and begrudgingly she came. But there's Ed and Ella Parkinson.
So she was
And,
not easy to satisfy, I guess. Pretty high society, huh? Pretty wealthy.
Well, he had 3 businesses. I don't know what he did when he was in Denver.
Right.
But he built this house, and you came down 6th Street to get to the museum. And so there was one big area that's open. It's got this green grass on it now. And this is where the house sat.
Okay.
So this is the parlor, the music room, the
fancy.
dining room. This is all original. This floor isn't, of course,
Right.
because even though they had moved such a short ways, obviously it's a project.
Yeah.
So anyhow, the kitchen, we don't have the kitchen sink because it was too terrible, I guess.
Was
to
it?
do
Yeah.
that. This is the stove. I don't know if it's a 1908 because they lived here for several years, obviously, so they probably updated it to the 40s or something. Or the 30s.
Yeah.
I don't know what this room is, if it's a laundry room, a pantry, a sewing room, it could have been all three. Well, those knickknacks are, they're older than Highland Parkinson's, were the one that colluded on the street corner.
Parkinson
one day
Manor.
decided to make this museum. So those there and over there, those are all Vera Olden's collections of cows. So in honor of Vera,
Check out this.
God bless you, Vera.
Can you go in here, or is this blocked off?
It's blacked out,
Okay.
everything's blacked out.
I thought this pretty cool. Did they take that from the lodge? Do you know this painting of is it George Washington?
I don't know about find a place for it and where it fits the best. Now there's a secret room here. This room is designated for as the boys' room. Whether they had 2 or 3 or 1, I don't know.
Okay.
That one's the little girl. And behind the headboard of the bed was a secret room. They boarded it off.
Right here.
Yeah. See,
Oh, yeah, there's a little bit of
yeah.
space. Yeah. Wow. So what?
And this is the master bedroom.
What do you
right
think it
here.
was? Just a?
Original tile floor.
Was it like a hidden intentionally?
Yes, because see that gal down there, over here on our right,
Yep.
she remembered it as a little girl that there was a secret room. Don't know what they used it for or anything, and I think they just recently found that out.
Wow.
So
Is there anything in there?
Pardon?
Is there anything in there?
We don't know. When I just started working here this summer, the director told me about it, and I said, "Can you go in?" He said, "I'd love to." I said, "What would it take?" He said, "The board would have to approve it."
Interesting.
And so that's not going to happen.
Wow. That's a really cool painting though. That looks
Yeah.
pretty historical there with the Masonic. I'm assuming it's like George Washington with his apron.
Well, it looks like George Washington.
Yeah. That could be
Remember the
more-
Masonic Temple, baby?
Yeah. Well, he does. They still have. I think it's in Washington. They still got George Washington's apron and everything.
Right.
So that could be worth something. I don't know how they praise that one. That's a pretty neat painting.
I don't
think you see too
know
many of those.
anything about this painting. I have to ask.
Yeah.
Because there's some people that would like to get in there because somebody came with the butterflies. Can I get closer? I said no.
Right,
I'm
right.
not allowed it,
Yeah.
You know.
That's just neat.
They do this for a reason because if you let too many people and things get disturbed.
Yep, for sure. Or missing, you know. But yeah, that looks pretty
I
historical.
love that lace. That was probably hand done.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Fancy room.
And see, the kids, and I don't know how much their kids today, but they donated this house. But the family comes here about every year and wallpapers it because did you ever look at the music room and see all the wallpaper that had been on the dining room wall? There's been 5 wallpaper. They just papered over the
Wow.
wall this wallpaper. So they saved it and said all the paper that they'd taken off the dining room wall.
Huh.
So these family members have come in and papered and painted this house, and
Wow.
it's just awesome what they've done.
Right. That's neat.
And then see, you have to understand, these are walk-in closets.
Mm-hmm.
There's a walk-in closet in there. I mean, was there such a thing back in the day?
Not very often, right?
Linen closet, the bathroom.
Yeah, so this was a mansion back then, huh? Pretty close.
Everything.
It's neat.
Cute little tub.
I mean, they had running water in 1908, 09.
Right. Pretty cozy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More space than we got in our little apartment right now.
See,
For sure.
That's
Awesome. Yeah, it's a neat. I think I should look into that though, because you don't see. I've seen another painting. Maybe it's based on the other painting of George Washington. Maybe, loosely, but Yeah, he's definitely like the go-to guy of the Masons, of course, the first president and everything.
Right.
That's neat.
Kids of the Parkinsons.
I think that would be a popular tourist item if they just had a Masonic Hall here, you know? With all the attention on the Masons and everything. You get all the like conspiracy buffs out here, and it's a big demographic these days.
Building, it was an insurance and real estate building at the time, but
Nice.
they've set it up as a bar
Okay.
because this is only building high enough to house this
thing, yeah.
bar in from one of the 16 bars that were in encampment at the time of the boom.
Nice.
I mean-
16 bars, huh?
Well, you had 4,000 miners. You gotta get these people something to drink.
Yep. And it's kind of still the same to this day. That's the one thing some of these small towns still have, is a little bar.
Absolutely.
Yeah, fine.
We lived here, it was just a small town back then, but you had like, what do we have? We had like 2 bars.
Yep.
Maybe 3. Then Riverside, which touted a population of 57, had 2 bars as well. Of course, it was the surrounding area, but
Not much else to do. I guess when you're not working, huh? There's the old piano.
I'll play your piano, right?
Can you still play this thing?
It plays, but the pedals don't work. You can't play the rolls anymore. They got lots of rolls.
Sounds about right there. Ting, ting, ting.
They have a piano tuner come around from time to time, Linda said. And I think they tuned the one, well, they did. She said they tuned the one that's in the museum.
So this is one of those ones that'll play itself?
No, it doesn't play. You have to pump the pedals there. You have to pump it. You have to put the rolls in,
Oh, okay.
which you do.
I didn't know that's how it works. You
You
have to sit
put
there
the
and pump
rolls
it,
in.
huh?
You-
Wow. You can pretend like you know how to play the piano, though.
So you open here, you put the rolls in. You have to hook it up here, start it down here.
That's
Then you
cool.
pump. And then when you're done, when it comes to the end, then you have to go this way and you pump it again and it re-rolls.
Well,
And so,
like the old
but you have to work. It's not
Right.
a self deal, one of those deals.
Same.
I know because I grew up with a player piano, and then when I quit working, we were devastated. But then when my mother died, we didn't know what we were going to do with the piano, and our niece wanted it. She said, "I'll get it done. I'll have it tuned." Well, she's got the piano. She never got anything done with it, but at least she's got it.
right. So it's like the old...
Needs to be tuned and
Original.
redone. And who do you find, anyways?
Right, I know. And those
This
that
is
work
the
on
thing.
those? Yeah.
And bakery, but we set it up as a store because
It's a
yeah,
little store.
how else are you going to display all this stuff? And
Right.
that's what you have. The register, you need to get that if you want to get anything because it goes from 1 cent to 99 cents. And it
Wow.
can go 9999 all the way across.
Huh.
And
That is pretty crafty.
This stove.
there's a thing for the tape up above that wheel. That's for the tape. And
Made it pretty easy though, huh? You just type in the exact cash. Get the exact change out. Wow. And also, they also kind of serve like a bank vault because nobody could like carry this thing out of here, right?
I don't think so.
Yeah,
It would be tough.
like a big safe, basically. Yeah.
And you got your Edison phonograph and another Victrola and drugs of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, name it, we've got it in this museum.
Yeah.
Another one that's really cool, they have a whole town, is up by South Park.
Yeah.
South Park is the name of it, yeah. It's up by Buena Vista,
Way up there, yeah.
above Denver, west of Denver. And they have a whole ghost town. It's so cool. They've totally recreated it. And
They got the
they
old
have
Masonic Lodge there too.
Yeah, they have everything there. It's really neat to see.
Nice.
Wizard oil.
All right, well, we got to wrap it up. Been here about, what, 2.5 hours already. Thanks again to that nice little old lady, Joy. I didn't catch the other lady's name, but they're really got great hospitality. They just sit there and spend time with you and tell all the history that they know. And they know quite a bit of history of this area, so that's that Encampment Museum. Pretty cool place. A lot of history. Like I said, you could spend your whole day here if you wanted to.